I've had to start this video so many times. Guess who's not filming another Clean Ballinger video? It's me. And you know, just for the fact that I'm not making a fifth Clean Ballinger video, I think you should subscribe personally. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would talk about the Gabbie Hanna video that went up a few days ago because I have a lot of opinions about it, honestly. So yeah, let's get into it. First of all, I would like to say I am really confused why after all these months of not being in any major scandals, she has decided to address everything. Like, I'm confused. I get that Jessi mentioned her in the thumbnail of her recent video, but that does not warrant a whole 43-minute long video addressing drama that's months old now. What's going on, Gabbie? In Gabbie's video, she talked about 4 major scandals that have gone on, and that was the Jessi Smiles incident, Alex James, Trisha Paytas and Beyonce. I didn't know about the Alex James and the Beyonce situation, so that was quite interesting to hear about that. I didn't really know what was going on, to be honest. But the Jessi Smiles took up the main portion of the video because she had a lot to talk about. I think she did have a lot to address with that, and I'm glad that she has finally done it, even though personally I don't agree with a lot of what was said in the video. That's just my opinion. She started off by saying she didn't privately apologise to Jessi after that whole situation went down, and that she felt like she'd done it justice with her public statements. I actually disagree. I know she was probably blocked by Jessi at this point, but there are ways to reach out to people. So if you don't actually know what went on with that, you're living a very sheltered life, because this was massive. Jessi Smiles came out with a video all about Gabbie Hanna, saying that she's basically a terrible friend and that she defended Jessi Smiles and basically picked Curtis, that was his name by the way, over Jessi, and it was just a whole messy situation. It was very dramatic, and I don't really remember the outcome being properly solved, personally. I don't know, it might have been, I just missed it, but there we are. Everyone thought that situation was done, or I did anyway, and then Gabbie made this video. She chose to not message Jessi privately to apologise for upsetting her, and I don't agree with that, but here we are. Gabbie then moved on to talk about how when all this drama kicked off, she was getting very anxious with all of the videos coming out about her. I think she had just been in another scandal. I can't remember which one. It might have been the Trisha scandal, but she had just been in drama, and then Jessi Smiles, I think, mentioned something about them not being friends anymore, not filming anymore, and that obviously raised a lot of questions with Jessi's fans and a few of Gabbie's fans, obviously, like it would. And Gabbie messaged her to say that she was upset about it, and that if Jessi was serious about moving on from their past issues, then she needed to stop talking about it. I think that's quite manipulative, to be honest, because it's Jessi's channel. Like, she can talk about whatever she wants. If she's upset with someone, if she's offended by someone's actions, or if she's genuinely just hurt by someone else, like, she has complete right to make a video about that or mention it as much as she wants. As long as she's not bullying or harassing the person, it's her channel to do what she wants. Like, I don't get why Gabbie was like, oh, you should have like just left it, you know, not talk about it, never speak about it. Well, no, that's not how problems are solved. You solve a problem by talking about it, Gabbie. That didn't sit well with me, and then from then on I've just had this opinion that she's been quite manipulative throughout the video. Like, her explanation of everything seems to be trying to fit a narrative. Gabbie then moved on to talk about how she never actually publicly defended Curtis in the whole situation, and she did bring up 2 tweets and mentioned that the article that came out about how Gabbie defended Curtis was actually published in 2014, and by that point it had already been announced like what had gone on, and it was public knowledge what had gone on. So she said that she's never ever publicly defended Curtis apart from 2 tweets and a Snapchat story which she asked Curtis to delete as soon as he took it. For some reason, I'm not buying the whole Snapchat story. I don't know why. I don't believe her when she said that. I believe that she asked him to delete it straight away, but I don't know. I've just got a funny feeling about it, because she started off by saying, oh, he took the Snapchat photo or video, whatever it was, and he'd posted it before I'd even realised, and as soon as I knew it was public, I asked him to take it down. In another part of the video, she said that where she was at, she had people tapping her on the shoulder a lot, asking for photos with her, so she'd turn around, quickly get the photo, and then go back to what she was doing, and that's what happened. And then she realised that it was Curtis that took the picture, and it was then that she asked him to take it down, and he did, and that's why there's not a lot of screenshots about it, because it wasn't up for very long. And something about that, I don't believe her. Like, I'm not buying it. I think, like, in my mind, I don't know why, I think that she fully knew who he was and took the picture with him and everything, or the video, whatever it was, and then he posted it, and that's when she freaked out because she didn't want to be associated with him publicly. I don't know why I think that. I've just, ever since that story first came out all those months ago, that is what I've thought. That's just my opinion. Everyone's entitled to one before I get loads of shit for it. I keep wanting to say Colleen. You can tell I've just made too many videos about her. Excuse me. Gabbie kept repeatedly saying that she has never publicly defended Curtis. I've got a very needy dog next to me. I'm sorry if you can hear her. So she kept saying that she never publicly defended Curtis. That really bothers me. Publicly defended. You shouldn't be privately defending him either. Like, it should just be, on no planet, in any situation ever, am I defending Curtis for what he did. It shouldn't just be a public situation. It should just be a standard, I don't defend this person. So that's another thing that really bothered me. Like, why did she keep repeatedly saying, I've never publicly defended him? Well, you shouldn't be privately defending him either, but you know, here we are. After that, Gabbie moved on to talk about the DMs between her and a fan, and she said that she completely regrets that, and she didn't mean for it to come across as her bashing Jessi Smiles, that she was just frustrated with all the stories going on around her and she wanted to defend her name, essentially. I'm not directly quoting, by the way, you need to go watch Gabbie's video for direct quotes and stuff, but she said that she really regrets it, and when she found out that this fan was a minor, that's why she's now not sharing. She doesn't think it's appropriate, and appreciate that, because at the end of the day we've just had the Colleen scandal where she was messaging minors and people kicked off about that. So I'm glad she's at least respecting this fan and isn't sharing public details about them. Jessi has since made this response on Twitter, basically saying she is not going to be making a video about this because what she said in her video about the situation, like, that's it for her, she's done. And she did include a little dig at Gabbie by saying she wouldn't air why she kept blocking Gabbie because that would air her dirty laundry, meaning Gabbie's dirty laundry. That raises so many questions for me because I feel like she's got something on Gabbie about why she kept blocking her, why they weren't friends. Like, she kept saying they hurt each other a lot and it was such toxic friendship, and Gabbie said this as well. I just find it weird that she would say she doesn't want to air her dirty laundry, like Gabbie's dirty laundry. Like, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting a video from Jessi, and I completely respect that. She's probably so sick and tired of this situation now, she just wants it all over with. It has been months now. My audio keeps quitting. I am not having a good filming day. The next portion of Gabbie's video talked a lot about the Trisha Paytas scandal. So if you don't know what happened with the Trisha Paytas situation, basically Trisha released a video called Why I Don't Trust Gabbie Hanna, and she talked about how basically Gabbie told Trisha's then boyfriend Jason Nash that Trisha had herpes, but that's apparently not the truth. Gabbie also clarified that she didn't have a gagging or restraining order against her and that she just didn't want to speak on it anymore because she just had quite a hasty reaction, so that's why she didn't respond. Trisha has pulled this again, like, since this video came out. Look, she's done it again, that she's getting lawyers involved and she's getting this involved. Like, what grounds do you have, Trisha? Really, what grounds do you have to pursue legal action? Gabbie clarified and said that Jason Nash was at her house in her room and mentioned that he had slept with Trisha. They weren't in a relationship at the time, and Gabbie said that one of her close friends had told her that Trisha has herpes and that she didn't know why he would lie, like what reason he would have to lie about that, and that if Jason was worried about that, he should probably go and get tested. That is quite a responsible thing to tell a friend. She also said that she had been continuously messaging Trisha, that it wasn't actually reciprocated, and that she was quite often ignored by Trisha. That the only reason she kept messaging Trisha was because she wanted to reassure her that she did actually have a friend if she ever needed to talk or rant about anything, that she had Gabbie. While that's a nice thing to do, it just comes across to me as this whole, look at me, I've done a nice thing, like I message someone uplifting messages. Like, yeah, it's a lovely thing to do, but Trisha obviously wasn't interested and you should have left it and given her space to come to you. So Gabbie should have just stepped away, especially considering that she said that she knew Trisha had been shit talking her to a lot of other people behind her back. Why would you just keep trying to make a friendship work? And personally, to me, it comes across as clout, that Gabbie was hoping to maybe get a bit of clout from Trisha. My camera just died. Like, literally, can anything else go wrong today? She said that's why she didn't feel comfortable enough going to Gabbie to tell her what her friend had told her about Trisha having herpes, and I can understand that to an extent, and I do think she probably did do the right thing by telling Jason what she'd heard. I'm also a bit sick of she ended every single segment throughout this video with whoever she was talking about, like, you're not blocked on my phone, if you ever want to talk, like, I'm here for you. And I just don't buy it. Like, you come across as so fake, Gabbie. I'm not being funny. It just comes across as so fake and trying to put on this persona that you're an amazing person, and I just don't bother. Like, it doesn't look good for you. After the Trisha situation had been talked about, Gabbie moved on to talk about Alex James. So this is one thing that I was not aware of. I don't follow Gabbie. I've never really watched her content. She just doesn't make my kind of content. So I wasn't aware of this, but the general gist of it is that Gabbie went on a trip with Alex James and they stayed in a haunted hotel. Loads of weird things happened while they were there, and Gabbie couldn't sleep. She was really anxious. Like, she was calling loads of people, like priests and her dad and stuff, because I think she genuinely does believe in ghosts. And she kept asking Alex if it was real what had happened. Like, she kept saying, oh, was this you who did this? Like, was this for a video? Did you do all of this to scare me for the video? And Alex kept saying no. And then a few years later, it turned out that he did actually do it. And Gabbie, rightly so, kind of like was a bit mad about it, because I'd be a bit mad about that if my friend pulled a prank like that and then didn't own up for it. Apparently he promised that, and you know, he said that he would never do that to her, blah blah blah. Turns out he did. And then from that, Gabbie called him a bad person and said that's why she wasn't friends with him anymore in a podcast. I don't think she named him, but it's pretty obvious who she was talking about with the context of the conversation. And then from that, Alex didn't want to talk to her, but I found on Twitter that she messaged who she thought was Alex, and they said, oh, wrong number, going to sleep, whatever, and she was like, oh, he didn't want to talk to me. But then Alex put this on Twitter. I'm just a bit confused what's going on. Like, honestly, Alex admitted that he crossed his fingers when he was promising, and that just, it really made me chuckle, because like, is he 5? Do you remember when you were really young and your friends would make you promise something and you cross your fingers because then it didn't count, like if you broke the promise, because it wasn't a real promise? It's so immature. And now he's raging on Twitter, and we're gonna have another video from him, and it's just a lot. His response in the texts were a bit aggressive. Is that the right word? Yeah, a bit aggressive. They weren't passive aggressive, they were like aggressive. And he kept telling her not to make a big deal out of it. Gabbie is completely justified to feel upset by the fact her friend lied to her and deliberately terrified her. But I don't think Alex then has the right to be like, you can't be upset about this. Like, why are you still holding on to it? Blah, blah, blah. Like, she's only recently found out the truth about that. He's just telling her she's literally not allowed to feel anything, and she's not allowed to be upset by it, which I don't agree with at all. Like I said, I don't know much about the situation. There could be a completely different side to this story. So I am expecting a video from Trisha and Alex. We'll see though. So Gabbie also kept making really subtle points about how good a friend she is. Like, she did all these nice things for Alex, and this is just another point of her being really manipulative in my mind. You don't need to keep going over the nice things you do for your friend. If you care about your friend and, you know, you're a nice person, you just do nice things for your friend. Like, you buy them a meal every so often, or you do give your phone number so they've got the 2-step verification thing. Like, it just baffles me. Like, you don't need to keep going on about what good friends you are. Like, this is just normal human behaviour. Like, it's not that complicated, really. So overall, I think this video was either a publicity stunt, because a song has come out literally 2 days later. I think that's a hell of a coincidence. Or this is to take drama away from Colleen Ballinger, because they are actually good friends. So I think it's one or the other. I just think it's a really big coincidence that she releases this video, which she knows is going to throw her back into the public eye. Like, she knows that all the drama channels are going to be talking about her, that the people she's spoke about in these videos are likely to speak about her again. It's a really big coincidence that she's chosen now to make this video when this drama is all really old. Like, this didn't happen last week. This is months old. Like, it's very convenient in my mind. I've said this throughout this whole video. She came across as being really manipulative. I didn't like the feel of this video, honestly. The vibes that she gave off, I wasn't comfortable with. I didn't like. I don't really believe her. I don't think she's very genuine. I think it was fake as fuck, this video. And this was probably for clout. This is probably just to get people talking about her again, because she's not been in a scandal. But yeah, that's all I've got for you today. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure you give it a thumbs up and comment down below what you think about this situation. Like, do you think Gabbie had genuine innocent intentions behind this video? She just wanted to clear her name, or do you think that she was doing this to promote her music? Make sure you subscribe and turn on that bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.